Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Kentucky lawmakers meet to try to prevent another spike in power prices. And some households in our region prepare to see some better internet thanks to a new partnership.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good Friday morning. I'm Keaton Hall. Dakota Makris is off this morning. Let's check in with Cameron Aaron for a look at your forecast.
Yeah, it is a chilly start to your Friday. Like I mentioned earlier, we are well into spring, but this morning it feels once again like it's winter outside. Let's take a look at that camera over at UVA-wise. Current temperature is sitting at 36 degrees, but the good news is we are dry and clear as you walk out the door this morning. 36 in Hazard, 39 in Jackson, 35 in London, 34 over in Williamsburg. Up on satellite and radar, not much happening right now. However, we are watching out for the possibility of some showers as we get towards the late morning and early afternoon hours. So be sure to pack the rain gear just to be on the safe side. It's not going to be an all-day washout. However, we could see some showers later on today. High temperatures well below average, topping out in the lower 50s. We should be in the lower 60s for this time of the year. I got that full forecast and possible snow chances this weekend coming up just a little bit later. Keaton.
Thanks, Cameron. A Corbin man accused of killing 4 people was found guilty Thursday on all counts after a lengthy trial. Jury determined Paul Brock murdered Aaron Myers, Tiffany Myers, Mary Jackson, and Tiffany's unborn child in 2018. He originally pleaded guilty but withdrew his guilty plea in October 2021. Sentencing phase will begin Tuesday, and the death penalty is possible. Recently obtained court documents detail what led up to the murder of Laurel County businessman Brian McCarty. The arrest warrant says records show Victoria Strelski's phone was at the scene of the crime, McCarty's house on the day he was killed. Investigators say Strelski Google searched how long to die with multiple gunshot wounds to chest. Will a .22 penetrate the heart and ribcage, as well as body temperature after death chart? They determined McCarty's death was caused by 3 .22 caliber gunshot wounds. Deputy Gilbert Achardo says the victim was well known and well liked.
Everybody knew him in the area. He was known to be a great guy, a very generous guy, and you know, it was a shock to the community whenever he was killed.
The Laurel County Sheriff's Department says they have ideas about the motive behind the crime, but they'll wait to let the court decide. Strelski's bail is currently set at $500,000. She'll face a judge this morning. A bill that could result in more cameras installed on school buses to capture images of drivers who don't stop when kids are getting on or off the bus is moving through the legislature. House Bill 221 passed the Senate panel yesterday. It already passed the full House. WYMT's Phil Pendleton explains what the legislation will do and why lawmakers believe it could prevent a tragic situation from happening.
A camera recorded an SUV that didn't stop for the stop arm as kids were about to cross the street. Lawmakers in a Senate panel say that it's sad that this danger is extremely common.
On that one specific day of a little over 2,800 school bus drivers in Kentucky, they detected 475 passing violations.
A bill that would make it easier for local school districts to put cameras on their school bus stop arms is one step closer to final passage.
So the bill that's in front of you today is a bill to simply put a stop and address the fact that there are still people out there that will blow past the school bus without any regard of what may happen by those actions.
The cameras work by recording a car's license plate only when that stop arm is out. These images would be erased after 31 days.
Senate Standing Committee on
The bill was heard in the Education Committee, but some question if this is more of a law enforcement issue.
It's on school buses, but we're in the wrong committee to discuss this because I'm literally in Judiciary Committee right now, and I need to look at it through those lenses.
Southworth passed, but the bill easily passed the committee 10-1.
My purpose of this is hopefully we could change the driving habits of individuals when it comes to a stopped school bus.
The Bill sets up a fine of not more than $300 with $25 going to the sheriff's office. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The bill now goes to the full Senate. A bill to ban transgender girls from girls' sports in Kentucky is now on the way to the governor. Senate Bill 83 received final passage in the Senate yesterday. It's already passed the House. Supporters say it protects girls' sports by making sure they have a fair chance to succeed. The ACLU and Fairness Campaign say it isn't necessary and will jeopardize students' mental health. A medical marijuana bill appears to be dead in Kentucky's General Assembly. It passed the House with bipartisan support but has not been called for a Senate vote. Senate Majority Floor Leader Damon Thayer said to the Herald Leader that the bill does not have the votes to pass in the Senate. Members of the Kentucky Mountain Caucus held a news conference in Frankfort yesterday, saying they have major concerns with the sale of Kentucky Power to Liberty Utilities. WYMT's Dakota Makeris is at the state capitol with more.
Eastern Kentucky lawmakers say if the sale of Kentucky Power to Liberty Utilities is finalized, it could cause a big spike in rates for customers who are already seeing higher power bills than they may be used to.
We've saw our electrical rates go up at a big rate over the last few years since the removal of the coal plant.
Representative Chris Fugit says people in his district are seeing power bills of $400 to $500 a month. And leaders are afraid those costs will only continue to climb.
When we heard that AEP was planning to sell their Kentucky Power division, at first that seemed like really good news, but now we've become concerned that the new company has overbid so much beyond what the assets are valued at that we're wondering why.
Lawmakers signed a bipartisan letter Thursday afternoon to the Kentucky Power Public Service Commission asking to either stop the sale or to give customers a break on their bills.
Return 90% of the excess profit back to the ratepayers. So for the average residential customer, that could be as much as $2,000, not in rate decrease, but in rebate.
President for Liberty South Region, David Swain, said the company has heard their concerns and addressed them in a filing made at the Public Service Commission, adding the company wants to work with Eastern Kentucky in lowering electric bills. In Frankfort, Dakota Makeris, WYMT Mountain News.
The hearing at the Public Service Commission begins Monday. 30 houses in Bell County will be receiving new broadband service. This comes from a partnership between SOAR and SpaceX. The two organizations launched a pilot project to give rural areas in the county better telehealth opportunities. Judge Executive Albie Brock says he hopes it will help with other issues like their low census ratings.
There's a lot of folks in these rural areas who just don't have access to good quality internet up and down. And we felt like this pilot program with SpaceX was a way of getting it to them quicker.
SOAR officials say they hope to have internet in each home up and running in the next 4 to 6 weeks. The gift of a lifetime. Joseph Steele, a retired Kentucky Army Staff Sergeant, and his family received a mortgage-free home yesterday in Flatwoods. It was donated by Wells Fargo to the Military Warriors Support Foundation. Steele served nearly 2 decades and was awarded a Purple Heart after being wounded in Iraq. Retiring in 2018, his family has lived in multiple states, bouncing from house to house. Wanting to create stability for his family, Joseph started applying to the Military Warriors Support Foundation, Homes for Wounded Heroes program.
It's just given us a way of life that we've been wanting for so long, but we haven't been able to have.
Steele was declined by the program multiple times, but after holding on to hope, now has a forever home. All home recipients are provided a family and financial mentor for 3 years to help them transition from military life back to civilian life.
Well, hopefully you haven't put away the sweaters and jackets just yet, because it is another chilly start to our Friday. Here is a live look at the I-75 camera in Mount Vernon. All is quiet for now. We are dry under a clear sky, and those temperatures are chilly as you walk out the door. 35 in London, 36 in Somerset and Hazard, 41 for Pikeville and Prestonsburg, 36 over in Clintwood. All is quiet on satellite and radar. A few clouds starting to push into parts of Pulaski and Wayne County, but overall not a bad start to the morning. But You do want to have that WYMT weather app handy as we go towards the rest of today, because a few showers are possible, especially as we get towards the late morning and early afternoon hours, and high temperatures today well below average in the lower 50s. I got your full forecast and what you can expect for your weekend coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
Thanks, Cameron. And thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up next, Ukraine deals some major damage to a Russian warship close to its southern shoreline. That's on the way.